Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? It's good to see you. Welcome to my class. I gotta cut my volume down. Welcome to Bad Dog Studios. This is my live streaming studio where I teach my Psych 150 and my Psych 241 class. Who have we got in class today? If you're here, hello. If you're here, go ahead and say hello. Check in. Let me know who's visiting me today. How's my sound? Can you hear me? Can you hear me well enough? If you can, go ahead and say hello. Welcome to the class. Welcome to class. Looks like we've got 12 people here today. Not too bad. Not too bad. Hi, Sophie. Jackson. Good to see you. Alla. Lillian Sai. Jackson. Alla Hurani. Sanjani. Welcome to my YouTube studio. Hopefully you like it. Let me show you what my YouTube studio looks like. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello. Can you hear me now? Oh my God, that is so embarrassing. I did not put my my microphone on. What a great start. Boy, don't I look like a dork. Okay, cool. So what I wanted to do was to introduce you to my my studio, Bad Dog Studio. If, as I was saying, and I was wondering why nobody was responding to my answers. This is my studio that I'm working from right now. If you see to the left right here, on the small little Surface Pro, I've got the live chat. If you want, you can log in to YouTube with your Gmail account, as most of you already have, and you can type in questions and we can carry on conversations with each other and with the teacher if you want. I'm not sure how long the lag is on these uh, chats. So go ahead and answer the question for me if you could real quick. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? Let's see how long it takes for me to get an answer. Green, there you go. Okay, so we're running about a 2 or 3 second delay. So basically it's not as good as talking in person, but it does give us a way to talk over YouTube. I encourage you to ask me questions, make comments, and just add to the course discussion whenever we're in here. Feel free, you are actually encouraged to talk to classmates while you're in this YouTube studio. Unlike most classrooms where you're not supposed to be talking to your fellow students while your teacher is lecturing, here at Bad Dog Studio, we encourage you to do that. If you look over to the right side of this picture in front of you, you will see that I have another computer monitor, and that is my screen share. And that's what we're looking at right now. And if you look at the screen share, I can, anytime we're in here, I can share web pages with you. I can share videos with you. Can you folks hear this video right here?
I love Saturday mornings. I still watch cartoons.
Fantastic. Okay. So it's low. Uh-oh. Cool. I tell you what, let's do this. How about this? Is this any better?
CFCC Whiteboard Studio. Thanks for joining me once again. I like its full personality. They're relatively stable, somewhat unique, and characteristic.
Actually, I've got some music going on in the background too. You probably heard that. So I can share video screens with you. And you know what I can even do? If you have questions, I've even got a little whiteboard here that I can write on. Okay, well, I'll have to fix that. I'll have to fix that before I show videos. So I can even write an agenda. What we're doing right now is the studio tour, and we're going to finish that. So if any of you have questions for me and I don't have a resource readily made, I can sketch it out for you. Okay? So this is the agenda we're going to have for the meeting today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No need to clap. I appreciate that. So my name is Dr. Chris Roddenberry, and I will be your instructor this semester. Okay? I'm going to be using this Bad Dog Studio Monday through Thursdays for live lectures that I'm going to be doing every week. So there'll be every week, Mondays through Thursdays from 9 a.m. To 10 p.m., 10 a.m., excuse me, 4 times a week. You're getting a little bit of feedback? I thought I had settled all these cameras. How about that? Better? How's the feedback now? Brendan? Yeah, I've got several cameras set up, so I have to make sure that some cameras have their microphones turned off, some of them have their microphones turned on. I thought I had this perfectly set up. I went through all the details last week, but I didn't do a check this morning, so okay. How's the sound now? Are we getting better? Okay. All right. Fantastic. Okay. You know what? That might have been the problem with the video, because I should have had the video set up so that you could hear it. Let's actually go back real quick and tell me, can you hear the video any better?
At my core, something about the self remains elusive, seemingly impossible to define, identify, let alone measure. Sure, I can describe.
Was that any better, Brendan? Fantastic. Okay, yeah, this is still my new studio, and I'm setting it up, and I've got all these complex moving parts. So thank you very much for helping me. You know what? Also, I've even got a PowerPoint slide too. So when we do the lectures Monday through Thursday, just like you're in a regular class, I'm going to go through and lecture to you. and do it with PowerPoint presentations. And you can come just like a seated class and listen to the lectures and take notes and ask questions if you like. So this is a really powerful studio that I'm going to be using to recreate a live and interactive portion of a typical course class. So I know this is an online class. You're not obligated anytime to watch anything live, but you are more than welcome to come here and experience this class as a live seated in a live seated format if you would prefer. Okay, so I've got lots of things here. I've even got a couple of sound effects. Right. I've got interesting transitions for you. Oops. Let's see. Interesting transitions for you. That's nice. That's not working. So I've got all these different parts set up, and I promise it's going to work a little bit better when we get started. I'm not sure what was happening in the transition. So, how many of you prefer seated classes over online classes? Or how many of you prefer online classes over seated classes? What's your preference? One of the things that I really liked as a student was the social interaction that occurred in a classroom. And I feel kind of lonely in online classrooms. So what I wanted to do was to create a situation where people could take classes online, but still have a feeling of being in a seated class and making friends and creating social interactions. And it looks like we've got about 50-50, and that's pretty good. Jasmine likes seated, Melissa likes online, Julie likes online, Sung Kim, hi Sung Kim, good to see you, likes online as well. Alana Huriani likes seated, Hurani. All right, good deal. All right, so we've got about 50-50. Well, the way I've designed this course is so that you can use this course any way you want. I've got it set up so that if you prefer online classes and you want to do stuff on your own time, you never have to see me again live. I've also got the class set up that if you prefer seated instruction, you can actually interact with me as many hours a week as you would in a typical seated class. So I've got it set up so that online students can do it online, seated students can do it seated, or if you want, you can switch back and forth depending upon your time, the time that you have to devote to this class every week. You can take the class as a seated class one week and come to all the lectures and discussion boards. The next week, if you're a little bit busy, you can do everything online. So I've got it set up so that you can take this class any way you want to take this class. All right. Now, the first thing that I did want to do is I want to share my screen here and share the Blackboard course with you. Does everyone see my Blackboard course setup? Let me go ahead and switch to student preview. Okay, this is what it looks like to you. All right. If you would, please, the most important thing for this class and for any online class, and I'll bet all of you probably know this right now, is to take the course entry quiz. You must take this course entry quiz by June 8th to remain enrolled in this class. Your grade does not matter. Your grade does not matter. The only thing that matters is that you took this quiz. You can access this quiz two ways on my Blackboard page. You can click this link right here on the announcements, and it will take you to the course entry quiz, or you can actually click on course entry quiz up here in the left hand corner tab, and it'll take you to the course entry quiz link again. So you can do it either way. So let's see, the course entry quiz. So so you'll find it right up here. Actually, I should have an announcement for it. I thought I had an announcement set up. Course orientation. Doggone it. I thought I had a course, oh, there it is right down there, course entry quiz. So when you come into the announcements right here, it says course entry quiz. That'll take you to this area in Blackboard. You must do this. Must do this. Must be done by 7/8. That's 7/8 to remain in class, okay? If you don't do that, you will be dropped from this class. No excuses, all right? Does everybody understand that? Fantastic. All right, now, the other thing I'd like for you to do, most of you probably are already. How many of you are signed up for Remind? How many of you have signed up for my Remind? Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and wait for answer. Now, what I'm going to do with the Remind is I'm going to use it as a way to remind you about course lectures, course homework assignments, and course discussion boards. So, all right, fantastic. All right, that's a great job. That is absolutely awesome, fantastic. Give yourselves a round of applause. Fantastic. I am very proud of you. Now, if you have not signed up for Remind, you need to sign up for Remind today. It's not mandatory, but it's a great way for me to send text reminders about homework assignments, about discussion boards, and about the tests. Now, I don't know if you're like me, you've got a lot of stuff going on during the summer. You're vacationing, you're visiting places, you're going to picnics, cookouts, etc., etc. And it's really easy for a due date to slip your mind. So if you would, I would like for you to sign up for the Remind service, and I'm going to send you a short text reminder about 8 hours before every due date. And what that will do is that will be a last-minute check in case you've forgotten about something that's due in Psych 150 that day. It's a great way to never miss another homework or graded assignment. All right, now I've probably described this a couple of times, but if you haven't, basically you text at summer 21 SUT1 T21 PSY 150 to 81010. If you do that, you will sign up for my Remind texting group. In fact, I hear my phone buzzing right now. Look at that. Thank you very much. Andrew Chiavacci has already joined Remind. Thank you very much. And you know what? I'm going to give Andrew Chiavacci and anybody else that signs up for Remind 2 points extra credit on their collaboration grade. All right, you're going to get a chance to earn up to, I think it's 10 points in collaboration extra credit, which will improve your grade by, your total grade by 1 percentage point, which is very important. It's the difference between an 89 and a 90. So the one thing you want to do is sign up for the Remind texting group. Hi, Franklin. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming. Hello, Alexander. Looks like everybody else has signed up for Remind. Fantastic. It's a real useful tool, and it is secure. Nobody has your actual phone number. At the end of this semester, I'm going to close down this group, and your proxy number that you've been given in this class will no longer work. If you decide that you don't want to get text messages anymore, all you have to do is tell me or log out yourself from the class. So it's just a service that you can use to help benefit you this semester. Now, actually, you can save the contact that I send you. So you've gotten a couple of texts from me. If you want, save that as your contacts, and anytime you have a question, you can text me back, and we can communicate via text instead of email. I find it's nice to find out what students' problems are as quickly as possible and then solve them as quickly as possible. So use it as a way to communicate with me. Oh, good deal. Sun Kim downloaded the Remind app. That's a useful tool too. You don't have to do it just to communicate with me, but if you want a little more utility, you can download the free Remind app as well. And if you want, you can also access Remind if you get an account, you can access it on a web browser as well. And it's just a great way for us to communicate. Okay, so let's see. So we've got the course entry quiz we covered, signing up for Remind. Let's take a quick tour of Blackboard. I see Jasmine L has a question right now. She wants to know if signing up for Remind is voluntary, why is the class collaboration grade a C minus? Ah, okay. You know what? Sometimes jokes don't come across as well as they should have. Basically, what I was saying was that only 70% of the class had signed up for Remind. That's a C minus, right? If 70%, if you got 70% on the test, it would be a C minus. So I was just joking that we as a class were at a C minus, and I wanted to see us get up to an A. I wanted 90+% of you to sign up for Remind, right? Does that make sense, Jasmine? So it turns out that I've got 92 people signed up for Remind, which gives us a B minus. 80% of the class has signed up for Remind. Does that make sense? You know, right, I have a sense of humor, and my sense of humor comes over a little better live, but sometimes the jokes that I type out on text just don't make it. So my apologies if I scared you, Jasmine. Okay? Let's take a quick tour of the course. Hopefully all of you can see the screen. Let's see. There you go. Is that big enough? Hopefully that's big enough. This is where you find the course entry quiz. This is the Getting Started folder that's going to have all the orientation information that you might need. And you can look through here for all the rules and links to parts of the class. Actually, if you read the Getting Started folder, it's going to take you through the course tour just like I'm getting ready to, and it'll help you familiarize yourself with the way the class is going to work. There is a link to an online textbook. This is not a free textbook. However, I'm not sure. They may have done this. I think the ebook, yeah, they're actually giving you the first 3 chapters for free. All right, so if you click on this link, you've got chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3 are demos. So you can actually use the first 3 chapters for free. So if your textbook isn't in right now, don't worry. You can just click on the textbook link and it will take you to the class. All right, so you can read the first 3 chapters without buying the textbook. Now we are going to be going through all of the chapters in this class. So you probably want a copy of the textbook, and you do not need to buy the course access. You do not need to buy Inquisitive or any of the access code stuff. Get yourself the cheapest used book that you possibly can. Myrtle says that they have the 2nd edition. You know, Myrtle, I can't officially endorse that. I will tell you that there's not much change in between books. What they typically do is they change the pictures and the charts. And one of the things that I will reference in my notes sometimes is chart numbers. So if you're using an older edition, you may have trouble finding some charts that I reference. You'll have to be a little bit of a hunter if you understand my meaning. Usually they just renumber the charts. They may change the graphics around a little bit, but if you're going to use the 2nd edition or even less recommended the 1st edition, they're pretty much going to have a lot of the same information, but occasionally you're going to not have content that you need. So that'll just be a decision that you'll want to make. Okay, now if you click on the syllabus and schedule, it'll tell you what the dates are for all of these course documents, all of these course assignments, the due dates, what they cover, etc., etc. So you'll notice in the syllabus and schedule, I give you the live lecture schedule. So we're doing basically 2 chapters a week, chapter 1, chapter 2 next week, chapter 3, chapter 4 the week after that. And we're having lectures 4 days a week. We're going to be doing collaborations. You're going to have to do a weekly collaboration activity where you either do a discussion board or come to a webinar. And the webinar dates are set right here: Thursday, June 10th, Thursday, June 17th, all the way through July 22nd. We're actually not having a webinar on the 26th. So you've got your collaboration and also your homework due dates. Notice that homeworks are going to be due every Friday. And down here at the bottom, you've got your exam schedule telling you when exams are going to happen and what chapters they occur. So about every 2 weeks in this class, we're going to have an exam. These exams are closed book, and you will answer short answer and multiple choice questions. I change my quiz questions every semester so as to prevent you from using Quizlet. These tests are timed and they are supposed to be closed books. Okay, so you can find the course schedule right here. Announcements. This is going to be the start page for this class. When you log into Blackboard, you're always going to come to the start page. And once a week or so, I'm going to put information up here for you. Now, those of you using Remind Text will get information in a more timely manner. So I'll put a reminder for all of the assignments that are due next week up on Monday, and it'll cover all of the work that's due. Those of you with Remind will be getting last-minute reminders. But basically, I'm going to remind you about assignments and other mandatory activities each week on the announcements page. And if you notice, there's a link right here on the announcements page, course orientation Friday at 11 a.m. If you click on this link after this class ends, it will take you to a recording of this very event that we're having right now. So if we attend the webinar, you do not have to do the collaboration board. Absolutely. Yes, you are right. Let's go over to the lessons module, which is where everything's going to happen, and I will explain that to you. That's a great question. It's Carmen, right? Carmen, Thomas, excuse me, asked that question. All right, so if you look into each folder here, it tells you what goes on. It contains that week's information. So this week is May 31st through June 6th. If you click on this folder, it's going to tell you what you need to do. Sign up for Remind, complete the course entry quiz, and here is a link to the course orientation again, as if you already didn't have it in a couple of different places. Week 1. So here's how each week's going to occur. Here are the learning outcomes that you're going to use to study for the midterm exam. These are the points that I'm trying to cover this week. And you'll notice that there are 4 links to 4 lectures. There's the Monday lecture and the Tuesday lecture that relate to the Chapter 1 learning outcomes. All right. Now, if you click on this link, it will immediately take you to a lecture. If you show up at that lecture at 9 a.m. on Monday morning, you will see a live lecture and be able to ask questions and interact with me. For each chapter, I will be going over a PowerPoint presentation. So here's the PowerPoint that goes with that week's lecture. You can download this if you want. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, it downloads, and you can download it and open it up and follow along with the lecture. There you go. So this is the PowerPoint that I'm going to be covering on Monday, and you can download that and follow me. So Monday, Tuesday goes with these bullet points. Chapter 2 learning outcomes will be the Wednesday and Thursday lecture, and you'll notice that I've got the PowerPoint presentations with them. Each week we have a collaboration activity. Notice the collaboration activity and the homework is listed in red. Anytime you see something in red in my Blackboard course, that means you have a graded activity. All right. Black is mandatory informational stuff, and blue are optional resources. If you click in here, I've got videos that you can watch that will help you with any of the content. But you'll notice this is blue. Blue is optional course content. Black is informational that you should definitely read. And red is stuff that you should turn in. And you'll notice we have a collaboration activity due. Thomas had a question. Each week you have to do a collaboration activity. One way that most students are asked to engage with their classmates is through a thing called a discussion board. I'm sure all of you have done discussion boards in your online classes. For the online students, you may prefer discussion boards. But as I told you, I prefer the seated environment myself. So I find discussion boards rather boring. Instead, what I'd rather do is have a webinar in Microsoft Teams where we can talk and share videos and interact with one another. I've got the course set up so that you can do your collaboration activity in any way you prefer. If you're an online student and don't have time to be online at a specific time and you don't want to interact with other students, you can complete your collaboration activity doing the discussion board. If, on the other hand, you are free on Thursdays at either 1 p.m. or 8 p.m., you can do a webinar with me in Microsoft Teams. By the way, I haven't set up the webinars yet. I'll have them set up by the end of the day. All right. So each week you have to collaborate with me and the other students. You can do that one of two ways. You can do the discussion board, which is due Thursday by midnight, or you can attend one of the weekly webinars, either the 1 p.m. Or the 8 p.m. on Thursday. All right. So you can do either one, Thomas. Does that make sense? Does everybody get that? And if you choose to, you can do both of them and get yourself 1 point of extra credit on your collaboration grade. All right. So we have 8 weeks of collaboration. So if you do both of those items for 8 weeks, you can earn 8 points of extra credit. Plus the 2 you got for signing up for Remind, you'll get 10 points of extra credit. Oh, hey, look at that. We have Leanne from last semester. Actually, Leanne was in both of my classes last year. She was in my 150 class in the fall and my 241 in the spring. Leanne is a very, very good student and a great student leader. Oh, it's good to see. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Let me know. All right. So let's go back to the screen share. All right. Hopefully this is useful information. So if you go back to your lessons folder, each week, I will do 4 lectures. You can either watch these lectures live and participate with me. You can come at 9 a.m. each day and participate live with me. Or you can watch them recorded if you want, because these links also lead to recordings. Or you can just read the book and do the PowerPoint presentation and ignore the lectures. So there are 4 live lectures. There's also a collaboration activity that's due on Thursdays, every Thursday. And then there's a homework. Lectures are going to be 50 to 55 minutes long. And you are free to come and stay as long as you would like. I get a statistic in my YouTube streaming account which tells me how long viewers usually stay. And what I find is that most students stay somewhere between 20 and 25 minutes. So I don't expect you to catch the whole lecture, but it is an option for you. Now I've had a couple of students in the past who have Apple TV, and they just put me up on their television, get their notebook and a bowl of popcorn, and just watch me up on their 55-inch screen TV. If you have Apple TV, you're more than welcome to participate by watching me on your TV. Going to the live lectures, they're super helpful. You can attend the live lecture, watch the recording, his online lecture. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, fantastic. So, any questions about that? Now, the homework is due on Fridays. The homeworks are set up so that you can You can stop and start them as many times as you want. So, and you can take as long as you want on the homework. So if it takes you 5 hours to do the homework, fabulous. If it takes you 10 hours to do the homework, fabulous. You know what? If you want, you can even, if you have the two screens set up, what you can do is you can watch my lecture with your homework open, and you can answer the questions as I answer them in the textbook. Uh, you do not need the online key for the book. Absolutely not, Akil. I'm going to try to provide you as much content as possible so that you do not need to spend anything extra in this class. I know if you folks are like I was at your age, every dollar matters. So the last thing you need to be doing is buying overpriced educational resources. So I'm going to try to provide you everything you possibly need for free here on Blackboard. I hope you I hope you do, Akil, and hopefully next time I'll start without my sound echoing. I do apologize for that because I'm at work, but I'm planning to attend the 8 p.m. webinars on Thursdays. Fantastic, Alexandra. You know what? I don't know if you folks have ever heard of what they call blended education, but those students that come to the webinars and then read the book and do the studying on their own kind of remind me of what they might call the blended student. Um, so hopefully you can get as much live interaction as possible. What I like to think of is the YouTube lecture is the part of the live classroom where the teacher would be talking to you, and the 1 hour webinar that we have every week is the group discussion time that would be typically going on in a classroom. So if you take advantage of all of those hours, that's 5 hours of interaction, of live interaction you can have with your instructor in this class every week. So over 8 weeks, that represents 40 hours of live instruction that you can have if you want. And the neat thing about this, Alexandra, is you can pick how much live interaction you feel like you need. If you want all 40 hours, I'm here for you. If this class seems too easy for you and you don't need any hours of live instruction, you can do it all online, or you can find yourself somewhere, anywhere in between. So, does anyone have any questions about this class, or have I been pretty clear on what we're doing in this class? Um, I really look forward to meeting you this summer. Um, Probably one of the things that energizes me most about a human being and a teacher is the interaction that I have with students. So I really look forward to seeing as many of you as possible in class or in webinar. Seems straightforward. Good. I hope you feel like it's chill. Uh, my aim is to make learning an interesting experience. Now, I'm going to ask you, I can only see what work you're turning in and what you're doing. I can't really tell how much you're engaging in this class. If you choose to engage in this class with me, you can learn some really cool stuff this semester. So I'm going to ask you to put in as much effort and energy as you can into this class. I've got some really interesting things to tell you that will really impact you as a human being, make you a more effective person, help you understand why people are the way they are, and hopefully even help you to lead a happier life. That's what psychology is. It's all about the human experience. So if you focus and put some energy into this class, you'll really get something from what I'm doing this semester. Okay? Okay. Oh, good deal. I always want to be your favorite teacher. Okay, I've kept you for 37 minutes, which is probably too long. Sometimes I could go on for days and days, and I need to learn how to shut up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right. Thank you very much for coming. Remember to do your discussion board that's coming up this week. Don't forget to do your course orientation quiz, and don't forget to sign up for Remind. It's good to see you, Leanne. It's good to see everybody else in this class. I'm going to go ahead and log off right now, but I look forward to seeing you live on Monday for lecture.